Are you hanging around with people who challenge you, who support you, who help drive you? Are you hanging around with people who are pulling you back, that are naysayers, that just drain your energy? Then ask yourself, your time. Are you investing your time or are you spending your time? It's our only precious resource. You can make money, lose it, make it back. But when time is gone, it's gone. So just by focusing on those few things, you can turn yourself around and turn that fear into faith, and faith that will fuel you to success.
Well, hello, Sharon. I am so excited and honored to have you on this episode of Holding Time back with me. For those of you that don't know Sharon, she is an incredible person. She has been educating the financial community of the world for years now and has a mission to teach people how to be financially free and also develop people into who they are inside and out, their full potential. She has been working with me since 2021, and I have seen my life truly transform, not only my life, but my husband's life and our family's lives because of Sharon and her influence and her love. And I am so honored to call you my mentor, Sharon, and so happy to have you here today.
Well, thank you so much. I am delighted to be here, and I'm so proud of you. You have created such an incredible journey for yourself and your family. And, you do what needs to be done to get to the next level. And I'm just honored to have played a small role in that.
Oh, well, you have played a massive role, and I thank you so much for that. So much. You, Angela, and Michael. Angela, your business partner, and Michael, your husband. So thank you to all of you for helping me just basically get to the next level. So what I wanted to share today with our listeners are, many different tidbits. We could spend multiple days talking about everything that you have put out into the universe for the world to absorb in terms of information. But what I want to start with first is just your story. Tell me a little bit about little Sharon. What kind of developed you in the beginning?
Well, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I literally grew up in a lower middle class home. Neither one of my parents even had high school diplomas. My dad was career Navy, ended up running the engineering school for the Navy. So he was self-taught, pretty smart cookie. But we lived in a little tiny house between my dad's used car lot and my mother's beauty shop. I was embarrassed by where we lived. My friends' parents were CEOs or military officers. And this is, hard for me to say that now, but at the time I was embarrassed. And we had real estate properties, or rental properties, that I had to scrub out bathrooms between tenants and orange groves that created orange cash flow from oranges. And so we talked about things like assets and cash flow at the dinner table. I didn't realize, I swore I would never be an entrepreneur because we lived in that environment. But I wanted to be a sophisticated professional. So I was the first generation of my family to go to college, only woman in my accounting classes, only woman in my science classes. And I had a father who said to me, you can be anything you want to be. You just might have to work a little harder. And that's exactly what happened. So I got out and got my ability to be one of the very first women in public accounting. And I knew I had to work harder than the guys that were hired with me. So I did. And long before the concepts of sexual discrimination, it was just like, you want to succeed, you do what you need to succeed. And I remember ripe old age of 25, I was not in control of my life. I was working incredibly long hours. And all of a sudden, my parents looked a whole lot smarter because I'd been out in the real world and realized how little people understand about money and what a gift I had growing up in a household where we learned about money. I learned about assets. I learned about cash flow. I learned about allowing your assets to pay for what you want, not your wages. And so at 25, as I said, I was not in control of my life, and I had a client offer me to go into a business with him. And I went back to my condo and did pros and cons. Didn't help me a bit. I could argue both sides. But my hand took off across the top of the page and said, why not? And that is my mantra even today, many, many years later. And that is, why not do something different? Why not take the path less traveled? Why not solve a problem or serve a need? And every successful business in the world solves problems and serves needs. So I made the decision at that point to leave public accounting. It turned out to be a horrible business decision because the company had all kinds of corruption. But had I not made that decision to leave public accounting, I wouldn't have met a young attorney involved in that company called Michael Lechter. So my worst business decision became my best life decision. And we've been married now 44 years and hopefully a few ahead of us still. And so I tell people sometimes you have to close the door for the doors to open. So I made that decision and was worried about it until I met him. And so we got married, we had kids. My kids didn't like to read, so I started the first talking children's book company with the inventor of the talking books, the books that had the sound strips down the side, and had an incredible journey with that company, building it at a time when kids didn't have electronics. So I learned so much about business and the power of association. I said, so parents, in order to trust us, we needed to partner. So we partnered with little companies like Disney, Warner Brothers, Sesame Street, Marvel Comics, and allowed us to explode that business around the world. And by doing that, I learned so much about the power of licensing, the power of association, the power of intellectual property. And now I help others by using that same thing. So fast forward a few years, my son got into credit card debt. I was devastated. That was December of 1992. And that's when I dedicated the rest of my career to financial literacy, financial education. And then a few years later, met this guy that had an idea for a board game. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. We became partners of the Rich Dad Company. I was his partner as well as CEO of the company. I was able to use everything that I'd learned in the Talking Children's Book Company and apply that to Rich Dad. So we built the world's largest personal finance brand. And that was quite the journey. And it was fulfilling my mission. And that is to provide people with the tools they need to succeed and to improve their financial situations. 10 years into that, 2007, I was pretty miserable. It was not a good environment for me. So I made the decision to leave Rich Dad at the height of our success, not knowing what was ahead of me. And I tell people sometimes you have to close the door for other doors of opportunity to open. And that's when I got the call from President Bush asking me to be on the very first President's Advisory Council for Financial Literacy. What an incredible opportunity. I served both President Bush and Obama. And then I got the call from the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So asking me to step back in to reinvigorate his teachings when in the financial crisis of 2008. So I've been a few books since then, but that kind of brings you up to where I am. I'm still dedicated to helping people really take their lives to the next level. I love my high-level mentoring, which I have the opportunity to work with you, but also providing tools for anybody looking to improve their financial situation.
Wow. It's so incredible how much impact you've made on people and on the world, Sharon. One of the first things that I read was 3 Feet from Gold and the Personal Success Equation. Can you talk a little bit about that for people that haven't read 3 Feet from Gold yet and how you can use the personal success equation just in life to power your business, your life, and everything else included?
Well, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, that's something that I'm really proud of. There was the first book that I did with the Napoleon Hill Foundation, 3 Feet from Gold, and it goes along the story with the original book, Think and Grow Rich, where a young man goes out to discover gold, and he gets all excited because he stakes a claim, has some gold, and all of a sudden it runs out. And he gets all frustrated, sells his claim to the junk man in town, and goes back east. And the junk man knows a lot about mining and has all the right experts. And he goes and he discovers the largest gold mining plot at that time. And he said, it's easy. He went right through the vein. He was 3 feet from gold. And so that thought is something, how many of us get frustrated and quit before the gold, 3 feet from gold? And as part of that, we developed the success equation, which is your passion and your talent. That's all about you. And your passion can be doing what you love or doing something that makes you mad. For me, I'm mad about not teaching kids about money in school. My talent, years as a CPA, years in the publishing industry. And most of the time we stop there thinking we have to do everything on our own. So that P plus T times A, power of association. One of my proudest powers of association is with you, Amanda. And so that association, people that help you get to where you need to be. Do you have people on your team who are strong where you are weak? Do you have a mentor? Do you have the people that can help you open doors and move to the next? Don't be the smartest person in the room. And then times A, taking action. How many times do we know what we're supposed to do? We just don't do it.
Right.
That happens to me all the time. And part of that power of association helps you keep making the right choices. And then all of it together, plus F, faith. Faith in yourself, faith in what you're doing, faith that is needed and necessary, and faith that you will succeed. And when I start working with someone new, it's usually the power of association and faith that need the most work. And what happens is when you have the right people around you, the right people on your team, and you have a bad day, they won't let you stay there. They help you see the light. They see the path. And so that is the personal success equation. Your passion plus your talent times association times taking the right action, all of it wrapped in faith. And it's something that I use in every interview, every speech. And at the end of the day, you can find something that helps you. If you go to personalsuccessequation.com, I have a downloadable workbook that will help you go through your own journey to see where you might be able to boost your success.
And I've gone through my own journey using that exact equation and seen, after working with you and really thinking about the power of association in everything that I do, and also having that faith and never giving up. I think a lot of us have so much fear as we push forward in business. We have fear that we won't succeed. We have fear that maybe the money won't come in. We have fear that maybe our people won't like us. We have fear. There's so many fears that we have. And really recognizing that fear, saying, I see you, but I'm not going to give you any energy. I'm pushing forward on my path with massive action. That changed my life completely, Sharon. And now I see life in a different way. I see the world in a different way. And I just can't tell you how much that personal success equation has impacted my life. So I do highly recommend any of the listeners, if you've never reviewed that before, really think about it. Think about what Sharon's put together. I mean, it's so impactful. And that's just one of the things that are impactful. The next, and I'm bringing these up because these are the things that have impacted me the most from you, Sharon. Outwitting the Devil, that book, just the simple thought of negativity and positivity in the world, and really looking at that big picture of we have the choice every moment of every day to choose positivity or negativity. And how many of us, and this goes to the faith part of the personal success equation, how many of us choose negativity over positivity when we could just choose that positive side? And with negative and positive energy, if only 2% of us are choosing positivity and 98% are choosing negativity, how can we shift that more so that we have more than just 2% choosing positivity? So that book, if you want to speak to that book and, the writings of that book and how you think we can shift our mindsets more towards that positive side, I would love to hear that.
Well, certainly, yeah. Outwitting the Devil has been such an incredible book and an incredible journey. It was actually written by Napoleon Hill back in 1938 because he had spent 25 years writing Think and Grow Rich. And he released it in 1937. And he was frustrated because he said, here I'm giving you the doctoral thesis, the step-by-step process to become successful and rich. And people will read it and not apply it because of fear. So that personal success equation with F is faith, many people, that F is fear. And it basically keeps them from achieving the success they deserve. So I want people to acknowledge the fear and turn it into fuel to keep moving, to help find the positive side of that. And so when he released the book in 1938, the title, Outwitting the Devil, scared his wife to death. She worked for the Presbyterian College. She was afraid she was going to get fired, and she forbid it to be published. And so it was hidden away for 73 years. And I had the incredible honor to bring it out, to release it. And in it, I think there was a higher power that kept it from being published, because it's such an important tool for today, what's happening in the world today. And that is how to get past that fear, how to turn that fear around into a positive energy. And your mind cannot hold positive and negative at the same time. And yet today we're bombarded with negative messaging from every direction. And you may not be listening to it, but if it's running in the background, it's going into your subconscious. So we have to be steadfast in focusing on positivity, focusing on what you need to do. And the book talks about 7 steps to make that happen. And the first one is definiteness of purpose, knowing what you want to do. Why are you on earth? What do you want to accomplish? Does what you do matter? That definite purpose helps keep you on track. And another one is understanding mastery of self. Nobody's going to do it for you. You need to do it for yourself. And that's where power of association helps, keeps you on track. And learning from adversity. We all make mistakes. The problem is we make a mistake. Don't let it define you. It's an occurrence. You learn from it and you keep going. Mm-hmm. And then one of the biggest ones is your power of your environment. Are you hanging around with people who challenge you, who support you, who help drive you? Are you hanging around with people who are pulling you back, that are naysayers, that just drain your energy? And then ask yourself your time. Are you investing your time, or are you spending your time? It's our only precious resource. You can make money, lose it, make it back. But when time is gone, it's gone. Mm-hmm. So just by focusing on those few things, you can turn yourself around and turn that fear into faith, and faith that will fuel you to success.
I just love that. And what I can say about that is, at 10X Ladies, so I saw you speak at 10X Ladies. I was so inspired by you speaking at 10X Ladies, and you just received the Lifetime Achievement Award from Elena Cardone. So I'd first like to say congratulations on that, Sharon. That is a massive accomplishment, and it was such a pleasure to see you receive that, and then hear your acceptance speech. And I looked up at the stage as I was watching you receive that, and I went, I am now surrounding myself with the right people. I'm moving the people that are negative, maybe naysayers, to the back of the room. I'm not spending as much time with those people. I'm through the power of association, meeting new people beside me here at this event and in life. I mean, I take it to every step of my life, but I've taken it as 10X Ladies when they said, think about your life as a movie theater. I think Lisa Copeland said this. Think of your life as a movie theater and move the people in the front row to the back of the room or out of the theater, and think about who is in your front row. And I'm so proud to have you in my front row. And I'm not only proud, I feel blessed that I found you, because you are truly guiding my life and changing my perspective on what we should be doing to be successful. And it's not just motivational, but it is in some ways, because I do listen to your daily ATM every single day. And for those of you listening, her daily ATM is abundance, tips, and mentorship. And Sharon gives abundance, tips, and mentorship to me in an audio recording. She gives it to everyone that subscribes every single day. And it's about 1.5 to 2 minutes typically, ending in, I am fabulous. And doing this with my son, Benjamin, it has been so impactful to me, Sharon. And so the motivation is one thing. Now, the other side is you actually teach people how to build their life to be financially free. So I know one of your biggest phrases is assets are sexy. How do we build these assets? What does financial freedom mean for those of you that have never heard that before?
Well, thank you. And that goes back to you asking me about as a little girl. I grew up understanding the power of assets, income producing. My dad bought acreage for orange groves because he knew he'd get cash flow from the oranges while the land appreciated. And that land is now part of SeaWorld. So, I learned these things from the inside out and watched as my parents' wealth grew because of that process that they did. Buying, building, creating income producing assets. And so few people understand that. And yes, my favorite word on earth is assets, and assets are sexy. And the older you get, the sexier they become. And so it's never too late to start focusing on asset. Instead of focusing on hourly wages, instead of focusing on money, focus on building the asset that generates the money, because that asset becomes an employee and it keeps working for you 24/7, whether you're out of bed or not. And that's the best kind of asset that you can have. And when you are financially free, Amanda, when the income from your asset exceeds your monthly expenses. Let me repeat that. You are financially free when the income from your assets exceeds your monthly expenses. That means your time is your own. You get your time back.
Right.
That's the greatest benefit of being financially free. And it does not have to be millions of dollars. Focus on how much money you need to live, what your monthly expenses are, and then generate a goal to buy, build, and create assets that will generate that amount of money, and you will be financially free. And that's the lesson. It doesn't have to be millions of dollars. Is understand one step at a time. Start small, but keep moving in the right direction. And you mentioned ATMs. Yeah, that was one I said, my why not. I was so frustrated when COVID started because of all the negativity and the fear. And so when I get mad about something, I usually start another company. So I started doing ATMs every single day to give people that ounce of positivity. And yes, I end every one of them, say it with me, I am fabulous. Because
Yes,
and I got my granddaughter, she says, I am fabulous. I love it. So we need that injection of positivity. It kind of helps you create that cone of protection from the negativity in the world.
Yes. So that in terms of the way that I've thought about being financially free and building assets for myself, going from emergency medicine where I worked within the walls of the hospital and I was that employee every single day. I now am focused on building my assets, building my business, building my personal brand, building my speaking brand, writing my own book. And you've helped me focus all of those columns of assets that are available. We might just think we have one asset that we're working on, but really there are so many more that you can tease out. And for those listening that are building their businesses, no matter where you are in business, you can always build it to that next level and decide, how can I make it the best selling asset one day? How can I develop it so that now this asset becomes more valuable? And one of the books, another book that I read, Exit Rich, because these are the things I want our listeners to have those tools that I use to get me to where I am now and help me dream even bigger for the future, and things that can really help everyone. Those 6 P's within Exit Rich. Let's talk about those for a second. And the 6 P's are people, product, process, proprietary, patrons, and profit. So in thinking about those 6 P's, I'll say it one more time: people, product, process, proprietary, patrons, and profit. When you're really focused on each one of those categories, you can make your asset become even more valuable. So will you talk a little bit about the book Exit Rich?
Certainly. Yeah. We want people to understand. A lot of people own businesses that they think are businesses, but they're really jobs. And so my superpower is helping people take a job and turn it into an income producing business. And you do that by focusing on the foundation of your business. We want your successful business to be sustainable, scalable, and saleable. And you are a perfect example of a business that was successful, but it needed to scale. And so we looked at how you could take that to the next level, and you have successfully done that. And so the essence of the exit rich, it doesn't mean you have to sell your business, but it's how can you build your business so it's saleable. And so understanding the first one, people, who's on your team. Is your business solely reliant on you, or can you have take a few months off and come back and your business is stronger? You're proof positive that you created that. And your products, what are the services? Are you channeling your products so that you can go into multiple streams of income? And then processes, that's your business systems. That's your intellectual property, how you do things. And you have an incredible, unique way of doing what you do, Amanda. Now you're teaching other people how to do that. That process is something that adds value to your business. And proprietary is exactly that. What makes you uniquely you? What is your unique selling proposition? What are those processes that are unique to you that adds value into your business? Also, proprietary, your database. Many businesses today get all excited because of their social media presence, but you don't know those names. You want to nurture social media, definitely as lead generation, but nurture them home into your database, because your database could be your most valuable asset. So build that. And then you have the opportunity to go then from processes and proprietary to your patrons. And that is your database, the people that support you, the people that are there. Make them your greatest and most valuable marketing tool through referral. And then profits. And usually people focus on the product and the profits. But when the profits aren't where they need to be, it's usually found in one of those other P's.
Yes, absolutely. And so taking a deep dive into each one of these categories is so important in your business, and really understanding which one are you maybe not so good at, and which one do you need to focus more on, because that's going to make your business that much more valuable and you're going to have that many more profits. Now, with profits, when you're ready to now build this life of financial freedom, I want to ask you to just talk a little bit about what resources you have available to teach people how they can build financial freedom and really a life of success for the future.
Well, thank you, Amanda. We have created a suite of opportunities and programs to help people. No matter where you are, we can help you get to where you want to be. So we have Money Mastery, which is people who are really struggling financially, help them find a way to get out of the rut, how to stop what you're doing and start building that. Or we have a program called Refire, people who feel like they just need something new in their life, right? They need to just find a new destiny and find a new purpose. That program is specifically for you. We have the essential components of a successful business, an online program, high level, like a college semester. My husband and I teach it, but it goes into the basics of that foundational element of a business that we have condensed into that book, Exit Rich, the 6 Ps. We go a deeper dive into each of those areas on that program. And then we have our group mentoring, which is a monthly low-cost mentoring program. We take small groups and we support them as a group mastermind through that process. We meet twice a month, and we're there to support people in building their business to the next level. We have high-level mentoring that you participate in, Amanda, which I only take a few clients a year, because that's where my highest priority is. I step into your world. I don't sell you a program. I step into your world, figure out where you are, where you want to go, and how we can assist you to bring the right people into your world or prepare for the next step and get ready to take your business to the next level. So all of those programs are available to support people. I also have a real estate investing course that's available online. And then, of course, I do speaking all over the world, and I love to be able to work with people one-on-one.
I mean, there's so much that you have to offer that literally gives people formulas to get to that next level. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why I wanted personally to work with you as my mentor on a monthly basis. And it has been so incredible, because we even spend an 8-hour strategy day at your house or here at HTB once a year to really look at what's the most important thing for my energy to be focused on during that day. And we all should really think about that. Do a big picture day at least once a day. Once a year, once a year with others around you that really know where you're trying to go, and figure out where should I be spending my time and my energy that's going to make the most impact. And am I using the power of association to truly impact in the way and drive my primary purpose to the next level over the next 12 months? And having that mentor in your life gives you a person that has already walked those steps in before you, and now they're coming into your business and looking at your business and saying, wow, this is where you should go because I've done this before. I can see that these could be the issues. This is where you should direct your energy. As I was deciding even to partner with Alpha, I know that we were having many different conversations, and you said take every conversation to the end because there could be a pot of gold waiting there for you. And I think that was such a valuable piece of information that you gave me, is that as listeners are considering anything for their future, why not take the conversation? Why not take that conversation, see if that is a pathway where you want to go, but you truly have to reach deep inside yourself to figure out, is that where you want to be? And just having you help me focus this has been absolutely incredible, Sharon. Mentors in general, do you feel, just in terms of mentors, do you feel that a lot of people that have been massively successful in life have had mentors that mentor them on a monthly basis?
I believe yes, of course, because, if you think you know everything, you probably aren't going to succeed to the level that you could.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be the smartest person in the room. Have somebody on your team who's been where you want to go or knows people who've been where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And part of, what you just talked about is understanding what the goal is. And when I talk about take every conversation, what happens is we decide we want to sell. We get the first call, the first offer. We get so excited,
Mm-hmm.
high emotion, low intelligence. And so it's like, take a step back. Oh, I always tell all of my clients, when you get that call, say, thank you so much. I need to review with my advisors. It gives you that space to be able to let the emotion, and you don't commit, you don't say things that cause problems later on.
Mm-hmm.
But take every call as a compliment and carefully consider, and then have a seasoned individual that does not have the same emotional investment that you do, that can help you look at it from a position of facts, not emotion. And that's so important. And you did a beautiful job of negotiating several offers that you had and looking at what's the short-term goal, the long-term goal, and let's look at my family goal.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And the family was always involved in every single one of these dreams and visions. And that part is so important too, to be aligned on the family side. I spent some time at the retreats at Cherry Creek Lodge that you put on. You put on private retreats for small groups twice a year. And during those times, that really allows you to get into a space where you're thinking about your legacy, thinking about what you want to leave behind. That session, writing even a eulogy, and incredible to do that. Will you talk just a little bit about the creation of those retreats?
Sure, absolutely. Well, my husband and I bought this incredible ranch. We were looking for a survival property, and we fell in love with this place, and it was a lot bigger than what we were looking for. And it's a little piece of American history. And so I tell people, honey, we bought this, we put a lot of money into it, we need to turn it into an asset. And so we built a beautiful lodge, and we became cattle ranchers overnight. We have 500 head of Black Angus cattle, and this lodge we use you can go to cherrycreeklodge.com. You can take your family there. It's a hospitality guest ranch. But we also, 2 to 3 times a year, we host a business retreat, which I didn't even mention before. But it's an opportunity for my husband and I, and we bring in a branding and marketing expert, and Angela, and we literally do a deep dive into everybody's business. It's a mastermind combined with a laser focus on your business, one-on-one meetings in the beauty of God's nature. We have meetings in the lodge. We have meetings out around campfires. We have conversations on horseback. So we want to really dive into the essence of what you want as an individual as well as your business. And being totally off the grid, we're all solar powered, our own well, it gives you the opportunity to appreciate the vastness of God's world, but also take laser focus energy of all of us working on your business.
Mm-hmm. And that's really that, high emotion, low intelligence. It's the time where you have high intelligence because you're laser focused. Other people are looking at your business too from an outsider's perspective that have no other opinions of it because some of them you've never met. And it's really, really just so incredible to add value to other people's lives and they add value to your business and your life when you're there.
And everybody leaves with a 90-day action plan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just a one and done. We want people to continue moving forward. And we reach out at the end of those 90 days, see how people are doing. And many of the people that come to the retreat actually level up to become one-on-one mentoring clients.
Mm-hmm. So 2 more questions for you. One is, if someone is struggling in aesthetics, they're wanting to get into the field, they're starting their own business, say they're not even doing aesthetics, and they're really just wanting to get themselves to that next level, but in this moment, they're having fear. What should they be thinking? What should they be doing to get themselves out of it and over the hurdle and over the hump to work again with laser focus on their goals?
Well, I think reading Outwitting the Devil will be very helpful to them, but I also think they should reach out and follow your story, Amanda, to see the journey that you've had and reach out to other people in your industry because you have a talent, but your fear is holding you back from taking yourself to the next level. So reach out to other people in your industry. That power of association is very important. Mm-hmm. And Amanda, you have the opportunity. I know you have programs to help coach other people in aesthetics. Mm-hmm. So reach out to Amanda to get that one-on-one contact because she's been there, done that, and she's done it very successfully.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. And I mean, I lean on my mentors in aesthetics, and aesthetics is such a small world if we're talking aesthetics. So don't be afraid to send a DM to someone if you don't have their phone number. Oftentimes those physicians, those NPs, those PAs, those nurses are answering their own DMs and get right back to you. And they're wanting to give you information. It's this community should be collaboration over competition. So last question for you. Your legacy. What legacy do you want to leave behind, Sharon?
Well, I tell people your legacy, I thought Rich Dad was my legacy, and somebody upstairs said, no, there was much more for me to do. And then I realized your legacy is created every single day with every heart you touch. Mm-hmm. And so your legacy is already started. And the question is, how do you want to finish it? And my team, a couple of years ago at one of the retreats, gave me a made-up magazine cover, but a legacy of creating legacies. And I love that because that is my absolute goal, is help other people create their legacies. Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of what you have created and what you've done, and so happy that I had played a small role in supporting you doing that, because that gives me the greatest joy. I grew up with a father that would ask me every night, Sharon, have you added value to someone's life today? He's been gone a long time, but I still ask myself that. So wouldn't the world be a better place if everybody focused on adding value to other people's lives? So,
and I tried, because I hear you say that all the time. I tried to ask Benjamin the same thing, my 13-year-old, make sure you add value to someone's life today, make sure to be positive, give someone a compliment. And it really it changes your entire life when you look at it from that perspective. So what I'll say in closing is, if you ever have the opportunity to see Sharon in person, please take advantage of it. She's given over 1,000 keynote speeches. She is all over the world speaking. And if you can see her, you will truly be inspired to take your life, your finances, and everything that comes with it, your legacy, to the next level. So thank you for being my mentor. Thank you for impacting my life in the ways that you have, Sharon. I love you so much.
Well, It is mutual. I love you. I love your family. We are family. When you come to the ranch, you become part of the Lechter family. And we're so proud of you and excited to see the future. And I know that you're impacting so many other people's lives. And your son, he adds value just by smiling at people. He's so cute. So thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Holding Time Back, brought to you by Alpha Aesthetics Partners. If you like what you heard, please leave a comment below. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep striving, and keep holding time back.